Are you prepared for that snowball effect?
I was. I'll tell you why. Because for 6 years straight, I was making 5 to 10 beats per day. I had thousands of beats ready to go. All that stuff you heard on the Little Brother Get Back album, which was released in 2008, I want to say.
Yeah.
A couple of those beats I made in like 04, 2003, 2004. So some of those beats were like 3, 4, 5 years old. And so I had this massive back catalog of stuff that I could use for the future. And so that's what helped me sort of be prepared for it.
Oh,
you know,
what about on the business side? Were you prepared for it too?
Hell no. Hell no. Dude, I was fucking taking Western Union cash transfers and this, and like not knowing, like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just really winging it, but when I eventually got a real attorney and a real accountant and stuff like that, I started to be more responsible with that stuff. So early on, it was just like a free for all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So how do you know? Okay, like at this point, I've hit a point where I need an attorney, like, or I need these other pieces to make the business happen.
You know what? Not to sound like a cop out.
Yeah.
But again, instinct.
But is it the moment when like Ye calls and you're like, oh, I guess I should like get an attorney?
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I had signed my first publishing deal in 2010. And I don't want to throw them under the bus, but in hindsight, it was not a good deal for me to sign, right? But I signed it because it felt like a good deal. It sounded like a good deal. And the money that they gave me wasn't a lot of money, but it was enough for me to like not want to say no. And so I took the deal, and it really wasn't a good deal, right? It wasn't a good deal, and but I'm glad I took it because I learned from that. It was a teachable sort of experience for me, and so I did that, and I learned from it moving forward, and I think that experience kind of like changed my mentality of like, okay, now you need to like get on your business shit, because now there's publishing deals and there's LLCs and there's taxes and all this stuff, business accounts. And so again, I think it was me recognizing something and then having the instinct to say, okay, I should probably like try something new and not just like collect cash at a Western Union.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that feels like the right way to go when I'm like 45 years old. I probably shouldn't continue to do that. I probably need an LLC. I probably need to look into an accountant. I probably need an attorney who knows what they're doing. So, all that stuff for me was instinct. And I don't know. I'm really fascinated by like the instinct thing, because that's what drove a lot of my success.
Is it just like calling an attorney when you need one, just finding one online and saying, hey?
When I signed that publishing deal in 2010, I didn't have an attorney, and I signed it without one, which was the biggest mistake you can make as someone in the music industry. You never want to sign a contract without an attorney.
Wait, of all the things in your instinct that led you to do the right thing,
yeah,
it didn't click to say, oh, there's a contract here?
No, it was a mistake. It was a failure. It was one of the many failures that I experienced coming up. And so from that experience, when I got the placement with Kanye in 2012, that's when I knew, okay, I need an attorney. I can't just like sign this contract. If they send me one, I need to have some representation. And so at that time, a friend of mine recommended an attorney that would be willing to help me with that deal, and they helped me with it, and everything worked out really well. But again, looking back, instinct again, and the funny thing about instinct is you're not going to be right 100% of the time. I mean, no one ever really is. But there's something to be said about trusting your instinct and being open to making a bad decision, because I think the bad decisions and the failures that you experience are teachable, crucial teachable moments for you moving forward. I'll give you an example. That publishing deal that I signed in 2010 with no attorney, that was like a bad deal that I shouldn't have signed. That company recently, I don't want to say recently, and I also don't want to name names, but they recently were bought out by another company.
Okay.
And the company that bought them out is the same company that I'm currently signed to.
Okay.
So I was able to absorb my entire old catalog, and now I own everything.
Got it. Oh, wow. Wow. So like life came full circle.
Full circle.
On that deal.
Yes.
Wow.
And if I had gotten an attorney for that deal, I probably wouldn't have the attorney that I have today, his name is Vinny Kumar. He's amazing attorney. He was the one responsible for helping me get out of my old publishing deal and also help to curate the absorption of my old catalog into new catalog. So I'm in a much better place now, as opposed to if I were to have an attorney back then, I probably wouldn't have Vinny. I probably maybe would still be with the same person, and I probably wouldn't be owning all of my catalog at that point. Who knows where my career would be, right? So again, sometimes those failures are blessings, and I don't think you could create enough opportunities to fail if you're not running off instinct. You know what I mean? Because if I'm 100% overly calculated about everything, and I'm trying to avoid failure, avoid, I'm literally blocking my future blessings, because everything becomes safe. Everything is just like here, a little bit here. And then 10 years go by and you're like, there's no progress, right? So when you run off of instinct, you're making huge, bold decisions that seem like they're fucked up at the moment, but then eventually become, for every 5 failures, one of those failures becomes a life-changing trajectory for the future.